This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
What's your name, ma'am?
Stacy.
Oh, Stacy. What do you do for a living, Stacy?
I work for a Christian publishing company.
If there's one thing I can't stand.
Listen up, slap nuts.
Sit down, dummy, I'm talking.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Oh, Randy!
He's fat! You f***ing numpty!
Will you laugh at that face? Shut your mouth.
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Hey, hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on the BrokenInfinite.com, PodMind.com, YouTube, and wherever else you may find this fine audio recording live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel. We talk about professional wrestling, both for the mainstream and the independent scene. My name is Matty Jay, that is TWK.
Bleh.
Too much turkey?
Bleh. Need more turkey.
You need, not enough turkey. How big was your turkey, T-Dub?
It's big. Over
Big,
20 pounds.
Yeah, pretty big. Tell them who you are, what you're doing here. Come on.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm TWK of TWK Reviews, and I'm here to entertain you. And that over there is my one night only co-host, Matty Jay, who's going to fill the role of Shin Tiger Curl.
You know, it's funny you bring that up. I might do it. I might have to do a Pete Dunne later. I'll explain it will all come together in the email, believe me. Oh, what a week. What a week. I found out I'm not screwed out of a job yet. That's fun. For those wondering, I talked about my feelings about the upcoming job switch. And the upcoming move. While nothing is confirmed yet, I was told that, hey, there's a conflict of interest somewhere in there, so we're going to transfer you to another department, but we are still interested in having you on, which is awesome, because I want to work for that company. I really do. You know, people do strange things for almost $50,000 a year, don't you know? But that's another thing for another day. And enough glad handing and stuff. Things. We got Survivor Series and NXT Takeover. I mean, NXT taking over Survivor Series, which they did in a big fucking way. Oh, and War Games happen. We'll talk about that and all that stuff. We have some New Japan. We get some AEW as per usual, of course, and all sorts of kind of stuff and news and things. There are no clips. There are no clips for segment one. I did not feel like it necessitated one specifically. We're just gonna go straight into it. Do I have a song to play here? I don't think I haven't even set up. I was setting this up. I'm like, do I really need to rewatch Survivor Series and find a clip? Really? Do I need to? Oh no, but I'll tell you who won. The guy with his theme song here. There you go. That's as close to a Seg 1 clip you're gonna get. And T-Dub's here too, your girl, Matt. And hello, Devin the Great as well.
Hello.
Well, yeah, big winner this week. Technically speaking, Adam Cole, Keith Lee. There are a few winners on the NXT side. Actually, the NXT side won. And that's just from War Games last night. But we begin our review segment as per usual by just talking about NXT TakeOver War Games 3. All events taken over the weekend at the Rosemont Horizon, aka the Allstate Arena, in Rosemont, suburban Chicago, Illinois. And we have a thing. NXT TakeOver War Games 2019. They had a pre-show match featuring Angel Garza and Isaiah Swerve Scott, which is a good opener right there, if you ask me.
Yes, they went a decent amount of time, but I think it was mostly a showcase for Angel Garza. The company seems to be high.
Yeah, and they seem to be high on him, and he got a big old slap to the face by Leo Rush backstage in a YouTube clip that was published later that evening.
Of course, the biggest story coming. Hold on, the biggest story coming from the pre-show is the fact that Mia Yim was taken out by an unknown attacker.
I was gonna bring that up because that was our opening match on the main card. But yeah, Mia Yim was taken up by a mystery assailant moments before she could hit the ring. A congenital heart failure filled Mia Yim moments before she could hit the ring. That was not it. That was a beatdown.
I was a little annoyed by that because she put on Bull Nakano makeup, and I was like, yes.
She had Bull Nakano makeup. She looked awesome, and then they pulled a Sabu at December to Dismember, and I'm like, God damn it, stop. Do not send us red flags. But it did set up.
The moment she was taken out, I knew where it was going. I knew exactly where it was going. I was like, oh, this is where they're doing.
They're about to turn someone heel in a very hard way, and we didn't have to wait long for this one. The main card started with the women. They went ladies first. The very first women's War Games match team. It featured Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, and Dakota Kai. Defeating Team Baszler was Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray. Now, that's the official stuff, but it may as well have just been Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, just the two of them, because as soon as Dakota Kai was about to get in there, she beat the shit out of Tegan Nox.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal, and Tegan Nox sold it like a boss.
So I don't think she had to sell it like the boss. She had that knee injury. She knew how that felt. It's one of those things. Once you felt that pain, you know how to sell it, I'm sure.
Yeah, and just they were able to nail the brutality of this attack extremely well.
I mean, steel on bone, what do you think usually happens?
Yeah.
This was perfectly done, and Dakota Kai instant fucking heel. And with like 3 or 4, surefire feuds for the upcoming future, she's gonna have a busy 2020.
Yeah,
which is not a bad thing.
I do hope that. Yeah, and obviously the end goal here is Rhea Ripley as the new NXT Women's Champion, considering that she was the one who got the pinfall.
This was essentially a showcase for both LeRae, who showed up as well, but especially Rhea Ripley. Ooh, they want to sell her as like the be all end all ass kicker that could find that poses a true threat to Shayna Baszler. Mission accomplished.
And I hope that Rhea wins it.
One can only
because
hope. We'll have to wait till February apparently. Because we ain't doing that in the Rumble weekend anymore.
Who's to say we have to wait till then?
Maybe. It could be the USA tapings. Which I have not seen the ratings for this week. I'm assuming you have that up for later use.
because they've been delayed till Monday.
Because of the holiday.
Yep, Thanksgiving. So because that the ratings have been delayed, as well as the SmackDown ratings. Those have been delayed until Tuesday.
It's going to be a very interesting week next week. Next up was Pete Dunne over Damon Priest and Killian Dane. It was a triple threat to determine the challenger for Adam Cole if he survived, and he obviously did. But it was for Survivor Series the night after. They went 1956. If you ask me, a tad longer than they should have. Probably cut it to 15
Possibly.
minutes because they were going at a pace that felt like they were good. That this was going to end in under 15. And it would have been just fine because the pace was relentless on these three.
It was, but I can at least say that I was never bored during this match. They also did a good job of constantly breaking up pinfalls just to protect the finishes.
I get the feeling that I share the opinion of a few critics who felt that the match went a tad long. Maybe not too long, but enough to make you go, okay, boys, go home. That's enough. The right guy won. I will give him that. And again, it was one of those it kept you in there. But I'm like, okay, the effects for me, the effect wore off. It got annoying just a tad.
Yeah, I may have been in that sort of department as well. Had this match gone on an extra 5 minutes, but I feel like for me personally, it ended at the exact.
This is going to be subjective, and it's obvious. It obviously is subjective because I was getting a lot of your feelings and a lot of my feelings when reading several reviews. I'm like, there are people who thought this went too long, and you felt it was just right. I felt it went a tad, maybe like a minute or two too long, or the pace of the matchup probably for me was slightly detrimental, but not too much. It was still an enjoyable match, but I was like, okay. Enough of the breaking the pins. Just pick a guy and fucking pin him. That's it. But that's me.
Actually, that's what kind of helped. That's what kind of helped it for me, because had it just been finisher kick out, then I might have gotten annoyed. But we had people breaking up the pin, so I was like, oh, that actually makes sense. So as long as it made sense to what they were doing in the match, I was.
Like I said, it's completely subjective, and you are in the right, because this was not a bad match. This is more me nitpicking and going, come on, boys. Come on. Pick a winner. Any winner. End the match. Speaking of don't end the match, this one didn't need to end that quickly, but damn, was it a good match. Matt Riddle, Finn Balor. Finn Balor defeated Matt Riddle. Aww. But Matt Riddle got a big win, got a big pin, or a big quote-unquote win the next night. We will explain in a few minutes. This was a coming-out party for heel Finn Balor, I think.
I don't remember anything about this match.
Yeah.
I literally don't remember this match at all. What happened in this match? You're going to need to remind me, because I don't remember anything.
Oh, there wasn't are you kidding, or you just forgot it flat out?
I literally forgot this entire match.
Are you trolling, or are you being honest?
No, I'm not. I literally forgot this entire match. I don't know what happened. All I know is that Finn Balor won, and that's it. I don't even remember how he won. Did he use the DDT?
I believe it was the 1856?
1916.
1916, thank you. It was a DDT. I know that was the finish. I know it was back and forth. I do know that it was back and forth. Both showed up to fight. It was a fight. And come to think of it, I can't remember any memorable spots either, other than the finish.
So yeah, it really shows that this really wasn't that great of a match. If we can't remember what happens in the match, then was it really all that good? It may have been passable.
I was entertained because both guys can go, but it's like in a card that features two epic War Games matches and the memorable spots here and there. Yeah.
I think it's easy to say that Balor and Riddle were outshined by everything on this card.
Yeah. God damn, you're right. Anyway, main event. No, we're not going to, we have to move on because TW literally doesn't remember the match anymore, which sucks, but we'll see. I don't remember. I heard it was, people were saying it was a good match, but Wow, the fact that it was forgettable, that's not a good sign. Though if you go by what's going on this week on NXT, you're going, okay, well, at least the right effect took place. It's not a bad thing. Fuck. Anyway. And the main event, Ciampa, Lee, Dijakovic, and who? Versus the Undisputed Era, Cole, Baby, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Went 28-26. Why did I leave out Kevin Owens? Because he was the surprise. Massive fucking pop.
They did a really good job of hyping that up because first, he didn't come out with the rest of the team to go in the cage. And then they had the countdown for the final entrance. They waited a few seconds. They cut to the Undisputed Era in the ring.
They're going, come on, show up. Da-da-da-da. And Adam Cole's face sold it.
America.
And then Adam Cole's face sold it all. Going, oh, fuck, what did I do now? Owens is in full Sting mode. Run! Also, a nice touch. Throwback KO duct tape t-shirt. Nice.
Yep, the classic shirt, shorts, and Titantron.
And Tron. So, classic Owens.
It's weird we're calling NXT classic.
Well,
that's weird.
It's. I don't want to use the word vintage. It's overused. Thanks, Michael Cole.
Vintage Owens. So cool.
Shut the fuck up, Michael. Anyway, this was, we could go over every possible spot. There was a spot where Dijakovic had a set up Owens with a splash, which was part of the finish. But we could just go over this match to fine tooth comb. But there's one spot we have to.
Kevin Owens trying to go for package pile driver, teasing it again. Stop it! Either do it or don't.
That was one. That was definitely one. And goddamn, that would have been nice to have seen that in War Games. That would have been appropriate. But the finish. Super air raid crash. Top of the cage. Both tables. I feel like when they like the face on Dr. Britt Baker DMD when they cut to her and that face going, oh fuck, what the fuck did I just watch?
You just watched your husband die.
A lot.
Yeah, they're a boyfriend. I'm not sure what their current status is.
Boyfriend, I believe, is still the term.
All right.
Boys, that was an awesome spot. Please, for the love of God, never do it again.
You know that Adam Cole is not going to stop jumping off that cage. Every time they put him in there,
he's going to do that, but never do that spot ever again. Because, god damn, that looked like hurt both of them. Because keep in mind, that was Tommaso Ciampa's first takeover since neck surgery. And he took that bump, because I don't care who you are. Yeah, Cole got the brunt of it, but no, both of them took that goddamn bump.
Oh, apparently Rico didn't know that Britt Baker and Adam Cole were together.
Yeah, they were together for 3 years, I want to say.
Yeah, it's been at least a couple years because
I know it was established at All In last year that they were dating.
Yeah, it's been referenced on Being the Elite a few times.
Yeah.
That air raid spot, and you could tell that when Ciampa was adjusting himself using the cables just so he fell off the exact right way, that Cole was just grabbing on for dear life onto Ciampa's body.
Yeah, both of them did try to do it as safe as humanly possible. Safe in quotation marks. Again, boys, that was an awesome spot. Never do that again, please.
And what surprised me is that Babyface has won both War Games.
You would think Baszler's team would have won it, but no, both won. That was cool. No complaints there.
None whatsoever.
Both were excellent matches. This is a weird one to rate. Because a lot
Not
of
for
things
me.
were changed last minute, but the match is still delivered. I don't know how to properly rate this. I don't feel like it earned a full 5. I don't know if it and I'm certainly not thinking go lower than 4, but
Yeah, I was thinking 4. Exactly.
yeah, that's what I was thinking 4. Because it's one of those. If they have kept Mia Yim, what would have happened if they kept Mia Yim and Tegan Knox in there and went full 4-on-4?
Then we wouldn't have gotten the Dakota Kai heel turn.
So there's a
And
lot
that
of
heel turn
balance
seems to be
issues.
going-
And the
This-
only
and
reason
that heel turn's going really
Mike
well.
Shell gave it a 4.25. I would have been that, but I'm like, that was where I was sitting, and then I realized I forgot about Ballard and Riddle being a thing, and I just remembered it was a good match, and that was it. That's not good. But that's a thing. We move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sunday evening show, as it were. This was not announced until literally the day of. A lot of stuff was after TakeOver and day of a lot of the announced teams and the rest of the card proper. But it was still at the Allstate Arena in Chicago. All three people. Morrow was a noted absentee for the NXT title match. We'll get that in the third segment and why we both are going to put Corey Graves in the worst goddamn list this year. Guaranteed. We'll get to that in the third, of course. Commentators were Vic Joseph, Jerry Lawler, No Deal Man for Raw, Cole and Graves for SmackDown, and Cole stepped in for Morrow and for the NXT title match with Nigel McGuinness and Beth Phoenix. And the pre-show had Byron Sexton in English for the commentary team. And the pre-show, which had Leo Rush versus Akira Tozawa, that was match number 2. The opener was a 10-team Interbrand Tag Team Battle Royal, a.k.a. a clusterfuck, with Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode last eliminating the Street Profits to win, a.k.a. hey, we're gonna bury the new team for some dumb fucking reason. The other teams in there by order of elimination were the Forgotten Sons, Lucha House Party, Hawkins and Ryder, Imperium, which was Eigner and Marcel Bartel, Heavy Machinery, Bray Zongo, the Revival, and the OC. We're going to move on because I don't want to talk about it. That was a mess.
Well, yeah, and honestly, I didn't watch any of the pre-show for this.
Yeah, this was me. I only watched. Well, this thing they said they counted the matches like the except for the Battle Royal apparently. No. Actually, they didn't count the Battle Royal because that was not even counted. Hold on. Yeah, they didn't even count. It should have been 2. Should have been 2 for Raw. I don't. Doesn't matter. Raw fucking lost. Leo Rush defeated Akira Tozawa and Kalisto in a triple threat interbrand match for the NXT Cruiserweight title. The Viking Raiders won a triple threat tag match between New Day and Fish and O'Reilly. That was, officially speaking, Raw's only win, technically speaking. And in the main show, we started with the 5-on-5, the 5-on-5-on-5 women's triple threat Survivor Series clusterfuck, which went 28 minutes. It was Team NXT, which comprised of Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, and Toni Storm, taking on Team Raw, which was Flair, Natalya, Asuka, Kyrie, and Sarah Logan. And Team SmackDown / Banks, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Nikki Cross. NXT won. Your thoughts?
I gotta say, overall, this match was pretty good, with the exception of Team NXT being booked as heels, even though people like Rhea Ripley.
To be fair, Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae were the only baby faces because Io's a heel.
And Tony Storm. Tony Storm
was a face. This was weird. I don't know. Weird booking, yeah.
So aside from that, I would say this match was pretty good, and I'm glad that NXT looked strong. That really surprised me. And it really shows how much they're getting behind Rhea Ripley.
I think this is. I have a theory, but we'll get to that at the end before the rating goes. The next match, the North American champion Roderick Strong, he defeated AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. 16:45. It was a champion's triple threat. Just on paper.
I was 100% shocked when I saw Roderick Strong get the win. I was like, okay, AJ's winning. This is just that's it. This is his match to win. 100%. You could bet your house, your mom's house, your grandma's house, all the houses in your family on AJ winning. However,
and then Roderick Strong steals the win. I just want to comment on the fact that forget the valuation of Shinsuke Nakamura in the last few years thanks to WWE. Just the names. And the name value on paper alone. Roderick Strong defeats AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura.
With Sami Zayn.
With Sami Zayn at ringside. If I'm Roderick Strong, I'm shocked he hadn't bragged more about that.
By the way, after seeing the IC title on my HD TV now, I am 100% behind it.
It's going to take a couple weeks to get used to it. There are some people who do not like it at all, and I do not blame them because now it's just another secondary title. But I'm with you on this one. It's going to take a couple of minutes, but I do like the design.
It does look larger than the previous one.
It still retains Intercontinental Heavyweight Wrestling Champion on the belt itself. It's more of a modernization, and of course they want to put the fancy side plates and keep it to like 2 side plates instead of like 4 or 5.
Also, someone on Twitter pointed out that the U.S. title is the only one left that still has nameplates on it.
And actually, the IC title never had nameplates. The current one never had a nameplate on it. It was the classic design. And by the way, a lot of people say, it's a conspiracy to fuck over Cody Rhodes because he was the one who brought it over. No. This was marketing. Period. They just...
I think I think that plays at least a little bit into it. I can't help but think
if it is, it's a very small thing because I don't see it as that at all. And this was marketing.
This is Vince McMahon we're talking about.
True.
There's still a CM Punk ass video on their website. That's still there. Just to let you know how petty Vince can be. He is no low that he won't stoop to. Do we need to bring up Virgil? How petty that was?
To be fair, he is sicking his lawyers on the bash at the beach copyright.
Well, it's not their fault that you let it run out, you dumb son of a bitch.
Yeah. And we teed up checked, I'm sure, and I read about it. It's like, no, it ran out. Bash at the Beach was technically public domain.
And Cody was like, mine.
Yeah. And by the way, you fuckers let Dusty Rhodes go. As in the trademark.
Well, their loss. And definitely Cody's
loss.
going to hope he got it now.
So remember that every time you want to book the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, you're going to have to pay Cody. A lot of money.
Nevertheless, Strong, Styles, and Nakamura was really good, really fast-paced. And I feel like this is the best match that we've seen out of Styles and Nakamura on WWE TV.
Yeah, this was their best offering, and Roderick Strong was no slouch in this either.
And I liked, once again, this is kind of almost like a copy of the last night's triple threat, we saw just a lot of quick moves, a lot of finishers, a lot of breaking up pinfalls, but much to Matty's liking, it was shorter than the last one.
Yeah, this
Also,
this is
Sami
very
Zayn's,
semantic details at this point.
Also, Sami Zayn's reactions every time Shinsuke almost got a win.
Yeah, yeah, that helped. I'll admit that helped a tad. Speaking of Pete Dunne, he won a stripper, so he got to face a beat up Adam Cole, but he still couldn't beat him. Adam Cole, baby, still the NXT champion in 14-10. A little bit of selling because obviously Dunne was selling his bum knee, and Adam Cole was selling his goddamn death.
Yeah, I'm still conflicted over this being a full match because it felt like Pete Dunne should have been a lot more healthy than Adam Cole. He should have been able just to destroy him in like 10 minutes.
Then again, Shayna Baszler should have been a little less healthy, and well, we all know what happened then. I think this was WWE saying, whatever you're selling, don't sell it here. I don't know what the process, the thought process and the production of those matches, personally. Just on a match, they obviously had some continuity, some being the word.
Nevertheless, this was on its own a fantastic match with an amazing finish.
Great finish, I thought as well, actually.
Bursting the bitter end into a Panama Sunrise, holy shit.
And that got the crowd going, too. And, again, excellent match between the two. I want to see more. And both of them at 100% where you don't have to sell anything. That would be key. Oh, how do you top?
Matty Jay wants to see 20 minutes of no selling.
No, if I want to see 20 minutes of no selling, I'll watch a Katsuyori Shibata match. He'll sell, then he'll no sell because he wants to kick the fuck out of you. Because he's a tough motherfucker.
He's not no selling. He's not no selling. He just doesn't give a shit.
There's a difference. That is true. Speaking of not giving a shit, I didn't give a shit about that. And that featured a Daniel Bryan match. That should be sad. Universal title. Bray Wyatt defeated Daniel Bryan. It was 10-10, and I'll tell you why I didn't give a shit. The fucking lights. Can we kill it? Can we stop it with the fucking lights? SummerSlam. Lights were, you saw the action clear as day. What is this obsession with bathing the Fiend in light when at first you didn't even have to establish that?
It's something that I'm sure will be going away within the next 3 months.
Please. No. Fuck 3 months. 3 weeks. I don't want that gone by the next pay-per-view.
Don't hold your breath. Nevertheless, I felt like what they were able to do was done really well. And one thing that I really love about this match is the fact that Daniel Bryan, despite the overwhelming popularity of The Fiend, the crowd was overwhelmingly still behind Daniel Bryan.
They were. This is Chicago. You would think Chicago would be like 50-50 on either one because Daniel Bryan's still a cult hero in wrestling. And Bray Wyatt's the hottest new thing despite the bullshit that they've done to try to fuck him over. You would think it would be 50. No, the needle was purely Daniel Bryan.
And that shows you just how good he is. And when you just let wrestlers wrestle the match that they're best at and you don't try to overbook a million finishers in a row, the crowd will go along with it.
Enough said on that one. I'm not going to add
this is the exact opposite. This could not be more of an antithesis to Rollins versus The Fiend if it tried. Because they got the exact response that they wanted out of this match.
There you go.
So despite the lighting being really obnoxious, they were still able to pull a decent match out of it, although I'm not sure how many people in the crowd were able to see it.
Yeah, not very many. And that's why I chose not to give a fuck about this match. It's like, dude, I want to watch your match, but cut it with the fucking lighting. Enough. No more. Next up.
No more.
No more. No more. No mo. Next up, 5-on-5 men's Triple Threat Survivor Series elimination match. Clusterfuck. It was the Team SmackDown won, but this I loved. Except for the first elimination, I liked this match, and I'll explain why. TW, you know why. It was Team SmackDown, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, King Corbin, Mustafa Ali, and Shorty Goddamn G.
Who's Shorty G?
Shorty, Short. We're not going over that goddamn thing again. We know who Shorty Goddamn G is. We've established this last week. We are not. No, it is Chad Gable under a shit gimmick. We're not going over that shit again.
Which is why I'm going to no-sell his shit gimmick.
Thank you. Just, you know what? Fuck it. I'll say Shorty G, also known as, or should be known as, Chad Goddamn Gable. Better?
I wouldn't even go that far. He's just Chad Gable. It's like the whole Shorty G thing does not exist to me. It does not exist.
Can I be allowed to be pissed off about this? He's not Shorty G. He's Chad Goddamn Gable.
Thank you.
Buddy, so officially they call him Shorty G. We call him Chad Goddamn Gable. Dear Chad Gable, if you do get released, get Chad Goddamn Gable shirt. You're welcome. Anyway, so is that Team SmackDown taking on Team Raw, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton and Ricochet. Of Team NXT, which comprised of Tommaso Ciampa, Damian Priest, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, and Walter. Did not even get a goddamn chop, and fuck you, Vinny!
Yeah, Walter was in there for about 2 minutes and then got eliminated by Claymore.
In fairness, selling in Claymore is important. But not on Walter, not that goddamn early. Why?
Yeah, because
do we give so much? So do we think so lowly of NXT UK?
From what I understand, on NXT UK, Walter is borderline unbeatable no matter how many finishers you throw in his face. And yet, Hero Survivor Series, 2 minutes in, and he's out. Like it's nothing.
One Claymore, dead. Again, Claymore kick is a devastating move. They've sold it as such. But this is Walter.
Yeah, we've seen people like Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne hit him with everything but the kitchen sink, and that wasn't enough to beat him in like 40-plus minute matches.
I obviously not this UK we haven't seen, but the next taping I better see Imperium with scorched earth. Fuck everything up, and then Walter calls out Drew McIntyre to fuck him up.
Yeah,
this crime needs punishment.
Yeah, Imperium has not been treated well on the main roster of WWE.
If you ask me, horse shit be called. We are beyond bullshit. This is horse shit. Anyway.
And as Mike Shell pointed out, Walter didn't even get a cup of coffee. It was a shot of his...
It was literally, one kick, dead. Not even a chop. Not even a chop. There was a chop off on Monday, where Drew gave Randy Orton a strong-ass chop that reverberated in the building. That should have been Walter.
And the crowd was of the same opinion. They chanted bullshit as soon as that happened.
And I agree with Chicago. I think you and I both agree with Chicago on this one. It's like it is the one mistake they made, and it's a big one. It is a big one.
The rest of the match, though, was fantastic, especially the end. The end between Reigns, Rollins, and Keith Lee.
Yeah, and of course, Rollins was completely gone, and that played into Monday. But no one gave a fuck. Seth Rollins lost? Yay!
Yeah, people were happier with Roman than with Rollins.
That should tell you
Just want to
something.
let that sink in. Yeah,
See,
people.
say what you want about Roman Reigns being overpushed and everything else. Roman was humble enough to be, you know, I'm just going to put my head down and go break the work. And he regained most of that respect. There are still a few stragglers out there going, boo! No. Seth Rollins was a big enough dick that he put Roman Reigns over in that regard. But, T-Dub, we need to talk about the fact that Roman Reigns went over, but in a lot of opinions, Keith Lee got over a huge.
Yeah, he was able to showcase a lot of his agility, a lot of his raw physical charisma, and when the match was over, Roman he gave him a good fist bump.
Which is as good as you're going to get with a big dog. You don't get a handshake out of that. That fist bump meant a whole lot more.
That was basically WWE's way of saying, keep an eye on this guy. He's going to be something.
Blue chip.
And
right there. And Vince, and you know what? Vince, you would think Vince, it's another fat fuck who needs to lose weight. No. Vince fucking loves Keith Lee.
Yeah, apparently he's got a full Gary Stridham with him.
You would think Keith Lee. No, not Keith Lee, but yeah, Keith Lee.
Keith Lee!
Wow. Yeah. What can I tell? Vince is basking in Keith Lee's glory.
Yes, let me bask in all your glory. Let me bask in it. Yeah.
Well, goddamn, pal, when do we put the belt on him? Well, we gotta wait for Finn Balor and...
He's in the Rumble. He's main event in WrestleMania, goddamn.
Damn it, you stole my thing. Because a lot of...
He's gonna beat Lesnar in a squash.
Lori Blake, El Fakador, Lori Blake of Wrestle Talk called it when he was doing the review and doing the news. He called it right then and there. Keith Lee to win the Rumble. And
Wow,
if he asks me, that's not a bad call.
It would definitely be interesting. It would be something new and different. And that's something that many fans have always been calling for the longest time now, is for WWE to just try something new, something different, something unique, something that you would not expect from them. And one thing that people would not expect is this person from NXT winning the Rumble and then beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Now, I would have said Bobby Lashley. I know, right? 2 years ago, we thought Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar was going to be a thing. But no, legit. Keith Lee, Brock Lesnar, WWE title. This would obviously mean we'd have to suffer through a WWE title for up until early April again. But that's a night. If WWE is that serious in this, or if they are thinking of this at all, do it. Keith Lee versus Brock Lesnar. This is a guy that, he is a big dude. It could be a hoss battle, but Brock always liked to work and worked very well with lighter guys. Guys like Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, for example. Yes, he could bring the hoss fight with, for example, him against Samoa Joe, but Keith Lee is so different where you could do a hoss fight and make it look legit because Keith Lee is a big dude, but when it comes to selling the hyper moves and the overselling suplexes, Keith Lee's just as able to do that as well.
And on top of that, he can do high flying stuff just like the smaller guys.
Except he's 360, so yeah, Brock will sell that a little bit more, I am sure. So yeah, I'm with Lori Blake on this one. It's an early call, but if Keith Lee is announced for that Rumble, he's one of my 3 picks. Easily. Anyway, but that's speaking of Bork Laser. Yeah, we're back to calling him goddamn Bork. Brock Lesnar over Rey Mysterio, 7 minutes, no holds barred. Obviously this was a Brock
Bork, bork,
Lesnar match. Can we
Bork, bork, bork.
bork 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 bork? Can we give props to Dominic Mysterio real quick?
Yeah, that was a really good 619 he did.
That was a great 619. That was a good looking frog splash too.
You can tell he's been training.
You could tell. You could tell he is not a regular mook. He is training.
And I really, really wanted that to be the finish. You know, father and son, 619, frog splash. That would have been the most poetic ending we've seen in ages. But no, Lesnar wins. LOL.
It's obvious they're booking this long term. They want Brock at Mania with the belt because fuck you. That's why.
I hope it's
But-
not just for a rematch with Cain Velasquez.
It cannot. It should not. You know, we're overhyping, and this is obviously speculation what we just did with Keith Lee, but the more you think about it, and obviously Vince has Keith Lee on his radar now, the more you think about it, the more you go, it makes sense. It is different, but Keith Lee is that kind of guy that you would think Keith Lee, and then you look at Keith Lee, you all you need is that stare down. Keith Lee, Brock Lesnar. No contact, no nothing. You tell Brock, no suplexes, no nothing. Keith Lee, Brock Lesnar, stare down, instant buys on that WrestleMania.
Well, instant bias for the network, I guess.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously. I'm just in conversation is what I meant. Like, you know what I mean here. You will not have to do too much to sell Keith Lee versus Brock Lesnar if you keep Keith Lee on that trajectory, which is obviously going to happen. I hope, anyway. If Brock's not interested, I say fuck it, have him win the Rumble. You could tell this match was outside of the spots. There was a Brock Lesnar match. We're still talking about Keith Lee. Which is not going to be the case in the main event. Go ahead, sorry.
I was about to say they did spell about as well as they could with 7 minutes, with the match essentially being Brock Lesnar batters Ray until Dominic interferes, and then a low blow, and then pipe shots, and then finishers, and then kick out, and then Lesnar hits one suplex, and then one F5 wins. That's the whole match.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. We're not kidding.
And I feel like that sort of finish may have killed the crowd a bit.
A tad, which
'Cause
led
you could
into
tell
the
they
main
were-
event, but they got him back, I think. Tired crowd and Brock Lesnar being Brock. They couldn't get them all the way back, but they got him back for the finish at the very least. Except like a finish and then the heat back part, which is like bullshit. But we'll get to that. Shayna Baszler defeats Becky Lynch and Bayley to win the night for NXT, and of course she was the NXT Women's Champion and went 18-10. My one problem with the match was the aftermath. Really, Shayna should have been up there celebrating, but Becky wanted her heat back.
Apparently, that was a Vince call.
That was I mean, in fairness, Becky is like, you know, if you look at how Raws go right now, you're not going to trust Rollins as being the number one guy. So you may as well put Becky Lynch on top of that list now. So in that thought process, it makes sense. But for me, it's at the cost of Shayna Baszler, who should have had, you know, the Fade to Black celebration, again, for lack of better verbiage.
So as for this match, the match itself, it was, just
But you know what, an match between Baszler, Lynch, and Bayley, I'll take that over. I'll take that over an match between Nakamura and AJ Styles at New Japan.
Like, This match was just in second gear for like the first 12 minutes. It felt like.
Yeah, I can see that.
I have the triple threat matches that happened over this weekend. I really hate to say this, but this really felt like a week one by a country mile, and this is one of the matches I was excited for.
It's strange to say it like that, yeah, but you're not wrong either.
It just didn't feel like much chemistry was in the ring, and there was just moves happening, but just there was no feeling or emotion. Like, I'm not sure what was going on, but it just felt like
with the build-up that they had, the build-up overhyped it a little bit.
I think what would have helped is if we saw a bit more viciousness and some more weapon usage.
Yeah, weapons plunder would have helped it, actually. Just straight up plunder. Because
plunder, baby.
We needed the plunder, baby, because all these three women, they hate each other. They've been beating the crap out of each other with pull-up brawls, if you will, and all that stuff. And even that bicycle in there to be thrown in there as a weapon. I went too far on the Dusty, but you get the idea.
This isn't Yakuza.
Yet. But the point stands. This felt like a standard triple threat when this was the main event. There's no DQ. The producer should have went, ladies, we've been building this up as you just want to kick each other's ass. Weapons. Brawls. Tables breaking. Do whatever you gotta do. Beat the shit out of each other. And you're right, it felt like second gear. It was an end match, and the crowd did come back in the latter half of the back half of the match, thankfully for them. But this was, I think, a more generous. Hey, we just want to see someone win. We just want anyone but Brock Lesnar win in this main event. Kind of a feel.
Although I will say the crowd did start coming alive in the last 4 minutes in this match.
Yeah,
I'll say.
Back half for sure. So definitely the last 4 minutes.
And of course, Baszler won with tapping out Becky Lynch. I mean, not Becky, Bayley with the
Bayley. It was Bayley, and then Becky got her heat back because she was still lying down at the table there, selling you that that beat.
She
down.
tapped out Bayley, which I was surprised that there wasn't a pass out. That was a full on tap.
Yeah, that was strange. You would think there'd be some continuity. Hey, Shayna, come on over. I want my rematch, but nope.
Yeah, that was a
business
bit odd
there.
Although that could be something they put in their back pocket because Baszler could easily lose the title this year and then show up on Raw then at the following week.
Baszler?
Yeah, Shayna Baszler could lose her title this year still. There's still time left in the year for her to lose the belt. And then she could show up on Raw.
Bayley's on SmackDown.
No, but show up
for Becky Lynch. Yeah. Because there's still that, but you would think SmackDown first because you want to follow that up with Bayley, but I can see your logic. I can see your logic though.
She already got revenge on Bayley. She made her tap out.
Yeah. More for Bayley's sake. No, Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler, it makes more sense. True. That's fair enough. And they're obviously keeping that the kernel of a 4 horsewomen versus horsewomen match in there, despite the fact that Ronda decided I'm going to retire, quote unquote. Yeah, I'm using the air quotes there because, well, she said it herself because I saw that clip from Total Divas. It's like no one truly retires from wrestling. And they got all 4 horsewomen of MMA in there. Just saying. That being said, before, now obviously, if you look at it, of course, NXT wins tonight. Boy, they really want to beat AEW in the ratings, don't they?
Yeah, that's what they're hoping, and we're not going to know until Monday.
It's going to be a very interesting Monday. It's like Monday, if ratings come in. I'll be shocked if I don't see NXT in the 7 figures.
I will say this. When it comes to the key demographics, it feels like AEW won again because I'm pretty sure they were trending higher.
Yeah, they were trending higher, and they people saying this was a bad show from AEW. We'll get that on the third. But I thought it was a decent show. The wrestling was good, and the crowd was there, mostly. And I'll get that on the third. But I get the feeling WWE's really obviously they're pushing SmackDown because they were still in second place. And but NXT, I get the feeling they just want, please watch NXT. We want to beat AEW so bad. It's desperate, if you ask me.
If you don't beat AEW this week, then we're saying Seth Rollins down there to be the new champion.
He'd be a hell of a heel champion. I'll tell you that much. You made it sound. Yeah, you made it sound like it's a fucking punishment. I mean, Seth Rollins NXT champion again. You could bet yeah, sure. We'll take that as a punishment, sure.
Yes, I'll totally take that as a punishment, Daddy. And I'll make sure to book him poorly, just like you. He'll be just as uncool on the main roster.
Anyway, so rating.
I'll give this show a 3 out of 5.
See, I was sitting at a 3.5. There were some good matches in there, and this was a lot easier 4 hours stretch to get through than most WWE offerings this year.
The main reason why mine isn't as higher is mostly due to the weird booking of the women's.
Yeah, there were some weird booking.
The women's the weird booking of the women's Triple Threat Survivor Series match, the lighting for the Fiend versus Daniel Bryan, and the lackluster main events.
Yeah, that's where I'm not going any higher than 3.5 though. There was still some stuff, and like I said, like I said on Raw, it's like for Raw, this was a reset. This was okay. We lost. We're not in number one, but we understand you want to boo Seth Rollins, so we are obviously going to turn him heel.
It was all your fault, you guys.
It wasn't my fault. I love Raw. Yeah, when you know the they didn't have to do much to get to get you to hate Seth Rollins when Randy Orton was giving you the jerk off motion on live TV.
Also, Charlotte doing the white guy face.
Yep.
I saw a meme of that. So
Yeah. And of course, Ray going, "Hey, fuck you, man." Cannot say I blame him.
Is it time for the email of the week?
It's time for you make it sound like it's not that like we only get the one email.
Can you prove me wrong?
It's only the one email, so you folks in the chat. God damn it! Ow! Did you have to scream that loud?
At least I was away from my microphone.
Please don't do that again. But
That should
be like for your people out there. Hi, that's a call to arms, folks. We want more emails. Damn it! It's time. Free emails and comments so that we can send them at the WrestleCast@gmail.com. And as previously mentioned, guess who our email comes from this week, folks?
Dark Mortimer.
No.
Evil Reverend.
You know, it's been a while since you've sent one, Evil Rev. But no.
Could it be?
It is.
Is it?
It's French Otaku. You know how to do it. Come on.
French Otaku.
All right. Previously, last week, I told you Pete Dunne is starting to have the same haircut as AJ Styles. He's a new soccer mom. Pete Dunne's theme first 4 seconds kick in. What did you say, you bloody numpty? I'm sorry. sound of cracking fingers. I don't know how to do it. So I'm like, other than the snap of the fingers.
Then snap your fingers, then crack your fingers for real. Just break your fingers for the audience.
No.
You'll make Mike Shell happy if you do it.
No.
But Mike Shell.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I tried.
Don't worry, Mike. I'll make it up to you by buying you a beer next year. He likes it. Anyway. So hello, Wrestle Cast. Sorry for not being here last weekend, but I was at a con during the weekend, and not by this was not caused by a beat done breaking my fingers. It was awesome. I did catch up on 2 WB pay-per-views. I know I'm not going to cover SmackDown or Raw this week. I was a little bit bored of both shows, to be honest. Let's go through this, and before I begin, I hope you enjoyed Thanksgiving and you survived Black Friday. Well, I know I did. How do I do it? By not going.
Same.
Shopped online, folks. That's the way you do it now.
Or you just wait till Saturday.
Or Cyber Monday. That's what I usually do. But when you get a good deal. And I did for a couple of gifts that my sister really wants for her for Christmas this year, so I am not going to argue on saving money. But that's beyond the point. Frontal Talking continues. NXT War Games 2019. Awesome show overall. Love both War Games with some shockers, like Dakota Kai's sudden heel turn. It was expected, but it did make sense. The shocking one of both Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae, the rival of Kevin Owens as part of Team Champion, Adam Cole getting killed again. Man, give this man all the ice cubes. Those ribs and back must be dead. Also, give Britt Baker some chocolate. Overall, I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Survivor Series 2019 actually mopped the floor against SmackDown and especially Raw. Even with that one win on the pre-show, thanks to the Viking Raiders, the show was the best one on the main roster for this year. There were some downsides to it, mostly the early elimination of Walter in 5 minutes. Really? And sadly, the main event, where the crowd was silent for the most part, shouldn't have been the main event, in my opinion. All 3 World Championship matches were great, especially Cole versus Dunn, and I'm happy that NXT dominated all matches. Final rating 3.5 out of 5. AEW Dynamite, probably the weakest episode so far. Despite being good, I love the opening moment with Jericho, that poor goat. Liked Pac versus Omega 2, worried about the 50-50 booking. Liked the fact that MJF won the ring, thanks to Wardlow. Chris Statlander, I'll keep an eye on her, and you should. Chris Statlander, she is a regular at C4 Wrestling. She's good. Speaking of regulars, we'll get to those two. We'll get to those two in a few minutes.
Double knock.
No, not those two. The other two.
If only those.
It's not
two
TDT. You would know if it was TDT. Believe me, you would know.
I'm
but
sure you would not let
the hype is still. But the
it.
hype is equal on Butcher and the Blade. We'll get to that. Believe me. Where was I? Oh, speaking of, I'll keep an eye on her, and of course, Scorpio Kai vs. Jericho was fine, but there were some weak parts, mostly introduction of the team of Butcher and the Blade with Allie, aka Pepper Parks, Andy Williams. When the crowd was chanting, "Who are you?" and JR got no clue who they are, there's a problem. I hope they'll get some explanation about them. NXT was a fine episode, but I'll leave the worst part of it on my losers list. Winners: NXT for winning Survivor Series and for War Games 2019. Rey Mysterio for winning the U.S. belt on Raw and that tag team tandem with Dominic at Survivor Series 2019 against Lesnar. Awesome performance for both of them. CM Punk last week for roasting Seth Rollins. To sum up, Punk shot about both Seth's... to sum up, Punk shot both of Seth's kneecaps with a silencer. Apt metaphor. Impact Provincial Wrestling Federation, aka Impact's Thanksgiving Edition, who went total Southpaw Regional So absurd, it was awesome. We'll get to that, T-Dub. I watched. We'll get to that. Thank you for the gig. Thank you for the gig. Thanks for the gig, T-Dub. And that thank you, Jericho Celebration. Yes, I did check out a little bit of thebubbly.com, and it works. I don't drink alcohol, but still, holy shit.
Matty drinks alcohol, but he can't get it.
Yeah, and I'll explain why. It wasn't sold out. They were still at pre-orders. I'll explain why in a few. Losers, this week's episode of Dynamite. It wasn't bad, but it was the weakest. It wouldn't surprise me if it gets beaten by NXT. The main event of Survivor Series 2019, I feel bad for all three women in this match, especially after that build-up. Jim Cornette for that racist comment on NWA Power. So much so that he got released from the company. No wonder Brian Zane roasted you hard. What happened to Walter at Survivor Series 2019? All those people deserve a massive thunder chops to the chest. Corey Graves. Where does he begin, he say? Well, you can start with his Twitter. You come down on Twitter and insult Mauro Ranallo without mentioning, of course, or without telling him directly, knowing very well that he's struggling with bipolar disorder. Says the man who's been sucking hard on commentary and gave us a lame-ass apology and acted like a creep towards Bliss and Rose on commentary and dumping his ex-wife for Carmella. You, sir, can eat a ball of fuck. To quote Ross Tweddle, you made a grave mistake, Corey. That's it. Enjoy your weekend. Prepare for Christmas and... No. Not that Christmas song on Raw. No! What Christmas song on Raw? Don't! Google it.
Wait.
Do not.
Wait.
Don't.
Wait.
No.
It's
I
coming
will-
back to me.
Don't. It'll
know
wreck
it
your
should be
mind.
Matty, I know it should be clip of the week in a few weeks.
God damn it.
Thank you for reminding me, French Otaku.
TW, send me that clip. I will debut first thing that show.
But it's French Otaku's idea. Do you want to insult
No.
him?
I will not blame Fletch Otaku. He did an innocent thing. I told you not to do it, and if you do it, the first words coming out of my mouth will be, hey, hello to the Wrestle Cast. Excuse me, D-Dub, Dave, slap, and I'll continue the intro. Verbatim, that's what's going to happen. If you do that. God damn it, he's thinking about it. I will report it to John if you have to. I will talk to the Shades. He has a harder Dave slap than I do.
Did you not like holiday music? Are you not in the spirit?
Still November, D-Dub. It's still November.
That's why I said in a few weeks.
T-Dub, I will more than likely be in the Christmas spirit by then. But you know how to wreck it? Shitty wrestling Christmas music. Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ebenezer Matty.
Dude. I will... God damn it, T-Dub. Why do you have to troll me on that?
Because I've been nice all night.
Bullshit. Actually, no, you've been fair. Those are the emails and comments of the week. I'm no selling that. You can send them at thewrestlecast@gmail.com. What have I done? What have you wrought, French Otaku?
He knows what he did, and he's happy about it.
You sure about that? He didn't sound too happy in that email.
Oh,
We'll
that's
be right
just
back.
a gimmick. That's
Dude.
kayfabe.
We'll be back. We'll talk. We have a lot of news, and yes, we are going to take a dump on Corey Graves. Why should we not? We'll be right back, everybody.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
These newfangled video games are too hard. Hello, boys and girls. This is the national treasure and the world's champion, Nick Aldis, and I'm here to announce that the NWA is coming to WrestleMania Wrestling. Stars like myself, Colt Cabana, the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol. Hey, do you want a challenge for the 10 pounds of gold? Well, you can, buddy, in WrestleMania Wrestling. Coming to the PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. I'm going retro. Retromania Wrestling, coming in 2020.
This is WMOB Mobile, 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings.
A new Fire Pro Wrestling game, huh? I got this.
Kenny Omega's starting out strong. An elbow to the face. Omega won't take this sitting down. And a low blow. He'll be feeling that tomorrow. This can't be good. It looks like a devastating pile driver.
Not like this.
Is this lights out for Omega?
Kenny!
But wait.
That's it!
Kota Ibushi's at the ropes.
That's it!
Begging Kenny to tag him in. Turn your living room into a ring with Fire Pro Wrestling World. Fight alongside and against your favorite New Japan Pro Wrestling talent in the all-new scenario mode. Edit custom wrestlers, title belts, and more to book your dream match. Then, share your creations online and battle with players from around the globe.
Golden Trigger!
Who do you have in your corner?
Tag a friend, and we'll see you in the ring.
Fire Pro Wrestling World, available August 28th.
I told you what was going to happen in the rest of the tag league. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to feel pain. Everybody's going to hurt. Everybody's going to wish they were dead. Everybody dies, and we're here to oblige. And as far as this concerns, it concerns no one. No one can take it from me. I don't give a shit who steps up and tries to fight me for it. You can be from the United States. You can be from the UK. You can be from Japan. I don't care. A new legacy is starting with me in the US Championship. It's a legacy of pain, a legacy of murder. Because I'm the murder monster. I'm the one you should be afraid of. And everybody fucking dies.
Back here on the Wrestle Cast, presented by RBC Entertainment on the BrokenHip.com, FireMac.com, YouTube.com. I always fuck it up. Twitch.tv Live, and of course we're on YouTube as well, and all that good stuff. Matty and TWK, here as always. Now, I brought up, that's Lance Archer, U.S. current United States Heavyweight Championship, as sanctioned by the IWGP and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, they're going through the World Tag League, so if you're not getting as much news other than just the World Tag League, that's why. But I wanted to talk about it because Lance Archer is the current U.S. champ, and that's like the number 3 belt up there right now, because it goes heavyweight, IC, US. I mean, now, it's been like that for a couple of years now, obviously, but...
then don't forget the Never.
And of course, the Never will be number 4 if you go top 4. Those are the top 4. But the top 3 belts, at least from what I've been noticing the last couple of years, those are the top 3. And Lance does not have an opponent yet. I'm assuming the one they'd go to the final and they'll announce it. It'll probably be Jon Moxley trying to get, hey, I never lost a belt. I got fucked over by your weather. Or some shit like that. It's Dean. It's Jon Moxley. He'll figure that shit out.
It could be Moxley, Juice. It could be, let's see, who else could it be?
It's a tough one.
Has he already faced Finley Jr.?
Not to my knowledge, as a matter of fact.
If not, then it could be him. It
could be him, yeah.
I'm trying to think of people on the roster that could fit that. Jeff Cobb?
I'd love to see that, actually. That'd be one.
There's a few ways they can go.
So I got both cards for, well, actually, I got both cards. Wrestle Kingdom's in 2 parts. One, of course, January 4 and January 5. And I did, while I was checking, they do have a New Year's Dash plan for January 6. It won't be at Kirk and Hall. It'll be at the much larger arena. But that they do have a New Year's Dash plan, so that, hey, we got a crazy night of we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen after Wrestle Kingdom. So that's a thumbs up. So for night 1, they obviously got White and Naito for the IC title, and Ibushi versus Okada for the heavyweight title. They have Ospreay versus Hiromu Takahashi. That's gonna be a goddamn banger. That's been announced about a few weeks back, and TW and I are fucking hyped to see that, especially TW, but you and I, we're hyped about Takahashi being come back. They have Liger's retirement match, his first of 2 matches at the Wrestle Kingdom. It'll be an 8-man tag with Liger, Tatsumi Fujinami, the Great Sasuke, and Tiger Mask taking on Naoki Sano, Shinshiro Otani, Tatsuhito Takaiwa, and Ryusuke Taguchi, with referee, of course, on Liger's corner will be El Samurai and Kuniaki Kobayashi, and the other, of course, the referee will be Horio Onaga. That's what they have announced. And they have 8 matches planned, 8 to 10 matches planned. So they got more matches planned. They haven't announced every single match here yet, obviously. Night 2 has the winner of the IC and Intercontinental Championship match. There'll be both titles on the line, that one. And the 2 non-winners will face off in a special single match, with the intention being the winner becoming the number 1 contender for the double championship. They have Hiroshi Tanahashi wrestling Chris Jericho in night 2. The junior heavyweight tag title matches featuring Itachi Ishimori and El Phantasmo taking on the Super Junior Tag League's winners, Sho and Yo, aka Roppongi 3K. So that's what's announced so far. So the U.S. title is not in the picture at all so far. What say you, T-Dub? What do you think? Outside of the U.S. title, what do you think could be added?
No. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna sit back and wait for things to unfold. Because I know it's probably going to be great.
If you were the booker, if you're Gato, and you had an idea, I know you don't like fantasy booking, but we're about a month away, just about. Actually, no, I could tell you how far away because I'm flying the day of Wrestle Kingdom Part 1. We're about 35 days away from the event. What sort of matches did you expect out of the weekend? Like, do you expect Jon Moxley to land somewhere in there?
That's always a possibility. He definitely seems to want to go back, and consider the fact this is on a weekend and they're not going to have a pay-per-view on January, I could easily see him show.
Who do you think could he face?
If not for the U.S. title, then... Ooh.
See, I'm thinking Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah, that could be a hell of a match. Just let those two go hog wild.
Damn right, yeah.
Also, maybe... I'm trying to think who else on the roster could we see Moxley face. Fuck. My brain's not working too well right now.
I got you on an off night there.
Yeah. The whole brain juice is going a bit thin at the moment. Son of a bitch. God damn it!
No. Well, you know what? We'll get back to that eventually. We got, again, 35 days. We could come back to that eventually. Let's do some news.
All right, first off, the Impact Provincial Wrestling Federation.
God damn. I watched that, and I'm like, Impact went full southpaw, and I loved every minute of it.
They even got a studio, and they dressed it up all nice.
They dressed it up as, I believe, the Don Draper Arena, if I remember correctly.
Possibly. But
yeah,
it was all like dressed up to look 80s. They even got like a guy in a cheap suit to be the ring announcer.
Yeah. Announcing who are the timekeepers and everything else. Of course, this was a modern audience going, okay, move on. Boo! Boo! But it was one of those things.
That's how they used to do it.
Can I just mention the irony of Sami Callihan looking like James E. Cornette for a second?
Are you talking about Sonny Sanders being Sonny Sanders and not Jim Cornette? Because that is a completely original character, I'll have you know.
T-Dub. Let's not go kayfabe on this. Let's be serious about a funny thing here.
But me and Shin were kayfabe during the whole broadcast.
They actually, no, they kept kayfabe for the entire broadcast, and that was awesome. But I'm just saying, just right off the bat, Sami Callihan pretty much throwing a finger at James E. Cornette by being James E. Cornette.
And I love how...
I love that touch.
This is a complete contrast to how we usually see him, because in this sort of character, he had to like a Weasley nerd who didn't know how to throw a single punch to save his life.
I know. I'm telling you, it's like most of these guys are PRO professionals who know, hey, this is fun. Let's change it up and have some fun.
Yeah, we also saw some of the greatest gimmicks with people like the lumberjack Tim Burr. We also saw the gym coach Gymnasium, the construction worker Bill Ding, and of course the stock car racer Ray Strack. And props to Wentz for actually cutting his hair into a mullet just for this show.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, a can of Coke for that.
Also, he says that he's willing to take bookings as his character.
While he's got the mullet. Gotta hurry up, folks, while he's got the mullet.
Like, and I wouldn't be surprised if these characters, at least some of these characters, show up at indie shows. By the way, little side note, this show actually got trending on Twitter, number 5.
They got number 5, I saw. And I'm like, Impact's getting some strides back, and that in the most ironic ways possible. But they are providing things that are different. And when it's time, hey, we're not gonna get too many views anyways. Fuck it, let's have some fun.
Yeah, and you could tell they're all having fun here. We saw Madison Rayne as Jazzy Fit Body.
See, just you saying the names has a smile on my face.
Yeah, I saw Joey Ryan being hosting the cockpit as Captain Joystick, joined alongside Miss Mile High.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember Moose's name was, but he was essentially a Run DMC stand-in. That was fantastic. The Rough Riders were great. And of course, Matty, what'd you think of the Canadian Cowboy played by Eddie Edwards?
I just got a smile on my face. This was not meant to be taken seriously, and they were having fun with it. I had fun with it.
But you could tell there was effort put into this because they made new championships just for the show, and they looked like legitimately old school style championship.
Old school style, territorial, low budget championships. Mwah. The level of detail. The level of detail with this is awesome.
I also love this spot where when Julian Cumberbund tried to attack Daddy Brown, Daddy Brown, of course, did the whole rip off the suit spot that we used to see back in ye olden times.
Full, tidy whitey underwear and all.
Nope, it wasn't tidy whitey.
It was blue. It was blue, to be fair, but yes.
But like they went full hand when it comes to doing all the classic spots, especially when they did that main event match, the Loser Leaves Town match for the IPWF International Commonwealth Television Championship. No, I did not read that off a script. That's straight from the top of my mind. Did not even need a script for that.
That's how hardcore T-Dub is. His favorite movie is Kayfabe. If you've watched Kayfabe, there's some old school to it in that as well, which I knew you were hyping this up for weeks, and I'm not surprised you love the shit out of this.
Also, if you guys thought that I couldn't do that, you're forgetting that I am the owner of the World Championship Wrestling, World Heavyweight Wrestling Television Heavyweight Championship of the world.
You can do it, folks. I can't because I know my limitations. But
my favorite part was after Daddy Brown beat Cumberbund in the main event, the whole roster came out to celebrate.
That was awesome.
Like it was goddamn. Who was it that they? Ron Simmons when he won the world title. It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
When Sting won the world title from Hogan, like you had the whole roster come out to celebrate. So yeah, if you haven't checked out the show, go ahead and do it. It was just goofy nonsense fun. We even got Russians. We got old school
CSSR Russians.
Those damn dirty commies.
Like I said, I can't put it into words. I'm smiling right now. Just like they went old school in a way that Southpaw. This should have been what Southpaw was, or this was this. They went full Southpaw, and it was glorious.
Well, the thing was, Southpaw was just something that Chris Jericho came up with, and was just like, "Hey, let's just shoot these random backstage shit back here." But if they wanted to go full ham, I think they would have had to have done it in a Full Sail crowd.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they would have to dress up and turn off all the LEDs in the damn thing, but they could have pulled it off. They could have.
Oh, speaking of damn and dirty, Corey Graves.
And now we bring the room down, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Graves, he goes on Twitter. I don't have the tweet with me, but I ain't gonna read it verbatim.
Well,
basically offhandedly trying to tell people, hey, by the way, we got Nigel McGuinness. This was during Saturday, by the way, during War Games, and he was offhandedly and indirectly accusing Mauro Ranallo of talking too much. Which I don't know if you. What did you think of the commentary on Saturday? Really.
I thought it was really good. It was just your normal NXT commentary. I didn't notice anything different. And here's the thing: Marl's the play-by-play guy. By default, he's going to talk more than the color commentators. By default.
And Nigel and Beth do their jobs correctly. That's they throw in whatever they can. They pick a couple of things, and Morrow does acknowledge them when they do. But
and I understand that Marl's commentary isn't for everyone because not everyone, is down with him making 101 hip hop references a show. But just he's not bad. He's not bad at all.
Morrow is what we want out of Jim Ross now, in a sense. But we're off the tracks here. So that tweet goes out. We all get pissed off, and then word goes around. Morrow outright deletes his Twitter and does not. And it's announced that he will not show up to Survivor Series, which is what happened. Michael Cole called the NXT title match. Did as good a job as one can do, and I'm obviously assuming this was last minute because, well, that's they didn't know Morrow was gonna have a bad weekend, especially in the bipolar disorder department. And then Wednesday, of course, when I see that and I go, Corey Graves needs to be reprimanded, and then Wednesday happens, Tom Phillips steps in, does his job. He did okay.
I did relatively well.
He went relatively well. But the point still stands. Morrow has not showed up for a TV taping. Obviously, bipolar disorder is a thing that should be taken seriously. And obviously, I don't need to speak for Tita, but I'm pretty sure I am speaking for Tita when I say I hope Morrow gets better.
Yeah, 100%. The thing is, you can only, manage your own bipolar disorder so much. You're going to just go through some really, really shitty times.
Yeah, if you go by the dirt sheets and what you read in the news, he had allegedly mentioned that he was going through a rough patch. So this goes straight back to Corey Graves, who I'm assuming if Morrow brought up that he was going through a rough patch, a producer might have said, "Hey, don't tweet anything stupid," and then Corey Graves went, "I'm gonna tweet something fucking stupid."
Also, from last time I checked, the tweet's still up.
He is half-assed apologized. He hasn't even tried to apologize first.
It knows that he waited until his podcast to apologize, so that way he could get as much attention as possible for it.
Corey Graves, you fucking idiot.
He's just a piece of shit. That's what he is. He's a piece of shit.
He is. Can you believe, like 4 or 5 years ago, we were calling him one of the best announcers in the Fed, and now he's been Vince McMahoned, and he's just turned into this absolute piece of dog shit.
Yeah, he's just a bully.
He's become that. And Devin the Great, he has gone full on dick, and yeah, like, I get it. You want to give some love to Nigel and Beth. Fair enough. But fuck you.
Also,
you knew you were throwing that dig at Mauro Ranallo, and you know how sensitive he is. Fuck you, Corey Graves.
And isn't this ironic that he put that tweet out just a couple days after Triple H did the whole "don't tweet your frustrations" speech? Somebody's not listening to their boss.
Asshole. That's what he is. He's an asshole.
And I would like to take a minute to talk to some of the Morrow detractors who think that Morrow is just too sensitive to be in the wrestling business. But
yeah, fuck you too.
Yeah. Once again, you can only control. This is a mental disorder that he can only have so much control over.
And he does, and he goes through every possible precaution to control it. including things that you would say are illegal, but are legal in his state, so to speak.
Yeah, like the thing is, like, this isn't a matter of being strong or weak or whatever. This is a mental illness.
That's
that
what
you
it
can
is.
only do so much about because
Bipolar rock and roller. Watch it. And I talked to both the detractors and those, because you've not seen that movie. It is a hard watch, and not in the way of, oh, it's a bad movie. It's an excellent documentary. It's hard because you have to put it in context of, this is a guy that's called MMA fights ever since the Pride days.
and
He's had that mental illness since and before the Pride days.
He's been calling wrestling matches since he was a teenager.
Wrestling, MMA, boxing, you name it, he's called it. With that disease. With that illness. So, it's public. Corey should know better, and for the detractors out there, fuck you too. I happen to like Mauro Ranallo, and I think I happen to believe he is WWE's best goddamn announcer. Fucking fight me.
By a country mile. Although I will say, Tom Phillips did do a good job on this week's NXT trying to fill in.
This is not a dig at Tom Phillips or Michael Cole this weekend. They did their jobs.
Yeah, given their short notice, they did the best they could. Obviously, filling in for Mauro Ranallo is going to be a huge ask, but, they did what they could.
They did their job. They absolutely did their job.
Moving on to something a lot lighter.
Yes.
Chris Jericho's celebration.
Here's another thing that has a smile on my face. I tune in to TSN. Actually, a friend of ours said, "Hey, you guys are going to watch the Great Cup?" I was like, "I'm not, because I got Toka riffs." But we went to a sports bar to watch the first quarter of the Great Cup, and our friend said, "Well, here, try the TSN Go, that Go app, and here's the password for it. We're going to share it. You guys going to watch it? You don't have to go through hoops and illegal virus-laden things." So, you sure? I said, yeah. Cool. We tried the app. It works. I said, you know what? AEW. I tuned it in. Marching band, inflatables, gifts, Chris Jericho being Chris Jericho. I'm smiling. I'm happy in my head place.
And could you believe that I actually seen a few people that not only didn't like this, they hated it. And one person even said this is somehow worse than Katie Vick.
Harsh. That's harsh. 1, 2. You must be new here. That bad, folks. Tita and I've had to suffer. I don't know about Tita, but I had to suffer through Bailey, This Is Your Life, and many Bella Twins drama pieces, quote unquote.
You should have been in the room.
And somehow Chris Jericho's celebration with all the cheesiness. And you call that worse than Katie Vick?
I saw some of these people, man.
Some people are pro WWE to the end, aren't they? Jesus H. Christ.
I guess. There are some people who just, when they stick their flag down, nothing can budge them.
Despite the fact that they've been kicking you in the dick since SummerSlam. Tita Beth have made our choices, man. We don't give a fuck.
Nevertheless, this was a super entertaining segment, especially with the surprise appearance of Ted Irvine.
Ted Irvine, the babyface assassin.
He wasn't the babyface here.
Oh no! He's wearing the New York Rangers away jersey or home jersey, whatever. He's hamming it up. People are going, "Yay, awesome! Chris Jericho's dad." He goes on the mic, "It's great to be here in New York City." And Chicago goes, "New York City? boo, boo, and he hams it up.
This was super cheap heat, but it worked.
Cheap heat, but god damn it, I could not. I was smiling. I was laughing. Every cheap thing. Jake Hager, big heart, coming out with a good call, Chris Jericho. And that poor thing did not want anything to do with the crowd.
By the way, that was the first time we've heard Jake Hager speak since he arrived in AEW.
Yeah.
And his first
other than he's sorry.
Yeah, but his first real words are Chris Jericho. His first full complete sentence. Hey, I got you a goat named Chris Jericho.
The proud and powerful go with bodega stuff and pictures of Portuguese celebrities, flip flops, references. Sammy Guevara with the stand-up. This was absolutely cheesy. They beat up Justin Roberts because Jericho didn't like the way he read the thank you note. Oh, and official, little bit of the bubbly sparkling wine. They have actual champagne.
Unfortunately, Matty himself will not be able to buy a bottle. Tell them.
Yeah, for those. Well, at first I thought it was sold out because obviously, as soon as the website goes up, it fucking crashes.
And once
typical
the
AEW fashion, by the way. But when I get it, and I'm like, I check it today, actually yesterday, out of pure curiosity, and I go, "Ooh, it's up. Okay, let's see." And you can still pre-order those bottles. Hell yeah, I'm in. I go to check out. It's like you have to pre-order 2 bottles. I'm like, I just want the one. I'm like, okay, $46. Fuck it, I'll share with the family. It'll be a nice Christmas drink. Whatever. I'll be part of my Christmas drink beverage budget. Go to check out. Put the address in. No shipping options are available for this address. Fuck.
Canada got screwed again.
First Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA. Now I can't even have a little bit of the bubbly.
And it's official bubbly.
It's official bubbly. This is a partnership between a winery which has a partnership with Stephen Amell, so that you could tell you where that NAAW. So there you go. You know where the partnership came from. And it's legit champagne / sparkling wine. It's legit stuff. Though obviously the grapes are not from Nepal, but they're American grapes. What are you gonna do? But it's official sparkling wine. It's official bubbly. All out of a YouTube video of Jericho being Chris Jericho after All Out. And there are people out there who still think WWE will crush AEW by the end of the year.
We also saw the Best Friends defeat the Lucha Bros.
Which, that's going to be a feud.
Yeah, it already is. I mean, we saw Trent first beat Pentagon on Dark, and then he picked up a tag team victory here. And I think it's plain to see that Brett is going up. And of course,
going up,
Orange Cassidy, just like a turkey.
Orange Cassidy, dressed out as a turkey, Road Warrior pop.
Did you see the interview on YouTube afterwards?
Oh, yeah.
Interviewer could not even get a word in edgewise. In her own words, it's like I wasn't even here.
People could take a dump on Orange Cassidy. He is obviously an acquired taste, but Jericho and Orange Cassidy, they have a perpetual motion meme producing machine.
Yeah, when Orange Cassidy finally gets a one-on-one match on Dynamite, crowd's gonna go nuts, especially because it's gonna start out comedy, but he's gonna show that he can really go.
They're building up to that. It's subtle, but they are building up to that. And you know what, T-Dub? I'm going to call it right now. That match will, 1, air on TNT on Dynamite, and 2, will be the reason AEW wins the ratings war that week.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Calling it.
We also saw a tag team debut: the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. As they attacked.
Allie is a matcher to the Butcher and the Blade. Many of my fellow Canadian friends marked the fuck out. They are a massive draw in the Canadian Indies. Of course, someone on Twitter, after I replied to one of the Twitters I follow, was like, well, yeah, so were the Dark Order, and they flopped. I said, right now they're rebuilding him with the vignettes. So that they know they fucked up, and they in fairness, they kind of fucked up the debut again, because Chicago did not know who the Butcher and the Blade were. That's bad. Now, obviously, they want to set him up as heel. That's why they beat up Cody. So it's not a complete loss, but guys, vignettes. Yeah, I know it's a WWE trope, but come on, you got to build them up.
Although I do think it's pretty obvious as to why they attacked Cody, because Allie's leading them. And when did we last see Allie?
That's a good question.
Laid out by Awesome Kong.
Yeah.
And who's leading Awesome Kong?
Brandy Rhodes.
Who's she married to?
Cody.
And who did they attack this week?
Cody.
It all comes together.
It makes sense. And I will say this. This is not going to be a case of Dark Order where, they're not going to have a lukewarm match. This is Butcher and the Blade. I've seen Butcher and the Blade. I did not buy the hype that everyone else saw. I saw one of the matches live. Folks, hype is real. They just need a solid opponent. They get in there and do their thing.
Especially when one of the members is Braxton Sutter, who I've seen on Impact. He's good.
He is the Blade in the combination of those playing at home.
And the Butcher is the guitarist for Every Time I Die.
Truth. And he has a hell of a mustache.
Yeah, he is a manly looking dude. Like, oof. Don't want to cross that guy in a dark alley. Jesus.
One wonders what would have happened if the Butcher got in the ring somehow with the last real man, Silas Young.
There's too much manliness.
That ring would implode.
There's too much manliness.
That's too much, Matty. It is too much, but the mad scientists that are wrestler fans, we must experiment. We must find out for science.
There is one criticism I do have of AEW right now, and it is the fact that for 2 weeks now we haven't seen Riho on Dynamite.
Yeah, they haven't had. They've had some women's matches in there, but Riho's obviously she's probably in Japan or there's probably something going on. But this is her women's champion. She has to show up at least once or twice. I'm assuming she'll show up next week. I mean, 3 weeks in a row without the women's champion would be really odd.
Oh yeah, it would not be good whatsoever, especially because the fact that the women's division has been the main point of complaints.
It's been it is their weak point. Let's be honest. We made that point a couple weeks ago where I said they're obviously building up that division. They want to build it from the ground up, and it's going to be their weak point. We knew this coming in, but the way you build it up is they gotta be on TV. They gotta be established. You don't do that with an absentee champion. Sorry to say about Riho. She's an excellent champion, but she's absentee right now. She needs to show up next week. I'm sorry.
And Kenny did do an interview saying that 2020 will be the year of their women's division, and he hates the fact that he's making people wait, but he says that 2020 is going to be that year because apparently, according to Kenny Omega, he signed some amazing women that'll be debuting next year. And
so
I hope he's right.
They're just waiting for the money, the process, and the contracts and everything else to be in. And in fairness, fair enough, but you got to deliver on that promise.
Yeah, I hope he delivers because it's not the worst. It's better than Ring of Honor's women's division.
No, by a country goddamn mile that, especially after losing, after they're about to lose Kelly Klein Kelly Klein, yeah.
Yeah, they're world fucking champion. They're women's world champion. They're about to lose, so at least they're not in that depth. But it's still a bit rough around the edges.
It's rough. To say the least. Yeah, I will say this. For as bare bones as it is right now, the matches are not egregiously bad enough that we have to call bullshit on it yet.
Yeah.
And I will say this, seeing Chris Statlander, by the way, who is another regular in C4, it was awesome to see her. She did a fine job. So
I'm pretty sure that given the amount of appearances she's made now, she might be signed.
If she isn't, they're thinking about it, I'm sure.
She definitely had a really great showing this week in that tag team match.
Absolutely.
And she's really impressed. She impressed me here. She impressed me back in Chikara during King of Trios, and I would love to see her get signed, honestly. And one interesting note from that Kenny Omega interview is that he did say that women's tag belts are also going to be on the way.
So obviously that has to be a 2020 thing, and for God's sakes, if you're going to do that, push. It's not gonna be a high bar to cross over the WWE women's tag team titles, but it's got to be a full-time thing. And obviously, Kenny has taken that aspect very seriously, and so has Brandy Rhodes, obviously.
Yeah, anyone who has followed Kenny knows that he's always been a fan of the women's wrestling, especially over in Japan, the Joshis. So he's obviously pushing really hard for this, and so far,
the little games that they're getting, it's paying off. But obviously, he's playing the long game here.
Yeah, and if they're going to do the whole women's tag division thing, then they're going to need to sign a lot of women that are exclusively for that tag division. Exclusively. Don't do the whole WWE thing where it's like, okay, they're in tag this week. Okay, but now they're back to being singles wrestlers this week and go back and forth like we've seen WWE do with their entire roster. Just
part of me is bummed. Part of me is bummed out, to be honest. Because one team, Nicole
Savoy?
Nicole Matthews and Portia Perez. They, a few years ago, they were a good tag team act, especially for Shimmer. Obviously, it's a deep cut, but
Yeah. And I would also like to see them treat their women's tag division like they treat their regular tag division, where you have singles wrestlers and you have tag wrestlers. That's the way it should be.
Mm-hmm. They can have singles matches if they so choose, but they are primarily tag wrestlers.
Yeah, kind of like how Lucha Bros, they're tag wrestlers. Best Friends, they're tag wrestlers. The Young Bucks, tag wrestlers. Private Party, Dark Order, Butcher and the Blade, they're all tag wrestlers, so you're going to see them primarily in tag team matches. You're not going to see them randomly in singles matches for no reason.
Yeah. I would say it like this. If the tag team division is going to be separate from the singles division, then split up the Lucha Bros. Yes, they're a great tag team, but Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. are primarily singles wrestlers.
Well, they were during the beginning of their career, but for the past 2 years, they've really hit a stride as a tag team in multiple companies.
Yeah. Like if there's one team that could work that divide and still be both, it's that team. But outside of that, everyone in their corners. Same thing for women's division.
Say this: I don't think they should split them up yet because their singles division is pretty stacked at the moment. So I'll say give it a good 6 or 8 months or so before they do.
Oh yeah. Give it 6 months. I'd say probably summer of 2020. Put Pentagon Jr. in there for a couple of singles high profile singles matches because Pentagon Jr. can bring in those singles matches especially.
Yeah, because and I don't want them to do a full on breakup. Just have them in high-profile singles matches. You don't need to do like a hard breakup.
Yeah, they could do
gimmick.
like separate rivalries. It could be like a case of okay, we got to split the tag team up for now because we got separate business between each other, but we're not going to full on feud here.
Yeah. So
logically,
overall,
anyway,
I
that
think
would make sense.
So if nothing else, I think for AEW, still a lot of potential there that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
And I look
this
forward
is
to
going
seeing
to be this is a slow burn, slow build kind of situation. So this is by no means like obviously this is their second month of TNT TV, and their people going, oh, it's bad now. It's like this, folks. Ironically enough, Triple H said best. This ain't a race. It's a marathon.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
And yeah, WWE is going to win and get some victories, but AEW is playing the slow game. Obviously playing the slow game here. And if there's anyone that could play the slow game, it's them. I mean, look at how they booked being the elite matches, so to speak.
Yeah,
how they built up their matches for that.
They told you
months of lore.
They told you when a heel turn was coming 10 months before it happened. And they told you exactly when it was going to happen, but they did it in a very subtle way. How they
So
do
if
that?
if there are anyone who are patient enough to go, yes, we might lose out in the short term, but we have a guy who believes in us and believes that what we're doing is good. So let's be patient here. We're obviously
Also, I'd like to
delivering
know
ratings.
how they told-
TNT's happy with our show. Let's keep going.
Yeah, and I like to say how they delivered that heel turn because there's an episode being where they introduced MJF.
Yeah.
What was the name of that episode?
Full Geary. We were talking about that last week.
Oh, didn't know if I did that. Yeah.
No, you did. You did.
So yeah,
you could tell his brain's a little off. He would remember that usually. He would remember that.
So yeah, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
They told you about it, right to your face, and yet we didn't even realize it. We didn't put two and two together.
That's why I called Cody Rhodes. Cody will be world champion, or will be in a match for the world title. Maybe not in 2020. This will be a slow burn. Obviously, he's going to have feuds for days here. So they are patient enough to go, hey, this is going to take a while. Let's take a while.
And that's all the news I have for this week, unless you have something you like.
Well, no, you brought everything I wanted to talk about. Obviously, SmackDown happened. They introduced another belt for Bray. They got that was made by the same guys that made the actual mask, so that was kind of cool.
Tom Savini. Tom Savini,
yeah,
he's a legend.
Yep. I believe the belt is making the rounds, but we'll talk about that next week.
I saw a picture of it. I don't know how to feel about it.
It's very Bray Wyatt-y. It's very fiendish, so to speak.
It's literally just his mask
his face
stretched out.
Yeah, stretched out to make a belt.
And of course, Sheamus returned with his old haircut back.
Okay.
So I guess he's going to go back to plugging 1-800-FELLA. Also, does that mean he's once again going to be a shameful thing? He's going to be a lobster head?
Ooh, if only. If only.
Too many limes! Too many limes!
Oh, stop for losers. Start for winners and losers. Let's do some losers first. Why?
The lobster heads!
Why, oh why do I get the feeling Corey Graves is going to be your loser this week?
The only losers I have this week are the lobster heads.
Is Corey Graves part of those lobster heads?
Yes, he is!
There you go! What's more with feeling and seriousness, T-Dub? Let's do some losers.
Yeah, Corey Graves is a loser because he's a piece of shit. Fuck him.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is... Corey, you fucking idiot. No, I'm going to go Dan Aykroyd on this. Graves, you ignorant slut. That's a deep cut right there. And whoever they got to replace Tony Schiavone in the first match on AEW Dynamite.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Speak up, you fucking Mark. You saw my tweet on that, by the way, right?
No, I didn't.
I'm not good at commentary. I will fully admit that. I am a Mark. I am a regular. But when I could when I could legitimately say I could do a better job than this schlub from State Farm. Yeah, he's part of the dynamite crew, like the hype crew. I'm like, if he is, then I could bring the fucking hype.
Yeah, this guy could not bring the hype because when you want to do commentary, you want to talk like this. You want to enunciate. You want people to hear your voice.
Because this is this is a television position, but inherently it is a radio style job. You have to have a voice like T-Dub and I have. Like T-Dub has a quieter voice, obviously, but he brings it by bringing some more charisma. You know,
I try.
He tries. He's got a personality to him, and he's okay. But he will emote in a different way. T-Dub is smart enough to bring that up. He's not going to sit here going, "Oh, that was an awesome move."
That was quite the maneuver.
That was thanks for having me on, guys.
He's an even quieter Alex Marvez.
And Marvez was better than this fucking clown.
I don't want to insult him because it's obviously his first night, but just he had no business being on commentary. I'm sorry.
This was I don't care if this was State Farm paying the bills or whatever. Tell State Farm, so listen, you want to do this again? Fine. Get a better dude. Or at least pay one of us to fly down there to do a segment. We'll do a better job. Seriously, I'm serious. I went on Twitter and I said, "Dear AEW, whoever this guy is, yank him. I could do a better job." Like, fuck, I'll find that tweet for you. I will read it verbatim. Because, god damn, what a mark. Anyway, let me see here. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so here it is. Dear AEW Wrestling. The guy who got to replace Tony Schiavone either is too shy or too quiet. I'm not going to say he sucks. That's too cruel. But I could do a better job. And I'll freely admit to not being that good. Tell him to speak up or get out.
And well, after the first match, he was gone.
Hey, yanked him. Fucking A, man. Anyway, let's do some winners before I get my blood boiling here. And Tim Davis, 95, Michael Cole sucks. We're not denying that either. We're just saying.
He's better than the State Farm guy.
Yeah. That is quantifiably measurable.
Let's see winners this week. I'll give one to Jim Ross for his Twitter response because people were. One of the complaints about the Butcher and the Blade segment was, "Hey, Jim Ross didn't even know who those guys were. So how are we supposed to know?" But except Jim Ross went on Twitter saying, "I was not supposed to know." So that was
kayfabe even on the announcers. Good call.
Yeah, Jim Ross like, "Of course I didn't know. I wasn't supposed to." That was the whole point of the segment. Excalibur knew, I didn't. So I guess
Excalibur is the color analyst who is supposed to know most of this shit.
Especially because most of these guys are coming up from places he's called for.
PWG in particular. And I know for a fact that Butcher and the Blade have been to PWG, so continuity there.
Yeah. Let's see what other winners I can go over this week. I'll give one to WWE this past weekend for putting on 2 good shows. Good job.
Okay. It's a rare one for
and
them,
of course,
yeah.
And of course, IPWF, Show of the Week.
Show of the month. Who are you kidding?
You gotta love good old-fashioned provincial wrestling.
Yeah, you got to.
By the way, also props to Scott D'Amore, who went on Twitter afterwards. Was it him? Oh, yeah, I think it was him. When on Twitter afterwards saying, "This show will be proof that one day we'll be able to take over and grow nationally and stop Vince McMahon."
I saw that tweet. That was awesome. Throwback to the end. I like that.
I want to find it verbatim, so I'm gonna find.
I think you read it verbatim. If I remember,
No, I did not.
You got it pretty damn close. I'll tell you that much. You got it close enough.
In fact, I butchered that.
You sure? I'm pretty sure you got it
butchered
close
and
enough.
I butchered it and I bladed it.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Okay, I'm getting close. I'm getting close.
There you go. He's looking. He's looking.
Route your winners while I'm doing this.
All right, that's all I was gonna do. Obviously, Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny for that debut. You give it a couple of weeks. These guys are gonna kick your ass. Believe me. Keith Lee and Rhea Ripley, because who have had a better weekend than those two? Honestly. The Inner Circle for that segment. Fight me on that segment. I like it. I'm gonna give I watch NXT. I'm gonna give a winner to Mansoor, the Saudi Arabian wrestler that flaunted the last couple of shows in Saudi Arabia. He had a match in NXT. He got the cold shoulder from the NXT crowd, but they got a respectable clap out of that match. And honestly, for his first tele-TV match outside of the Saudi Arabia shows, not bad. Honestly, I think he did okay. Just saying. Obviously he is the link to smooth things over, and he is obviously there for propaganda purposes, but as like an individual, as a wrestler, he's fine. They're doing a good job with him as far as the training is concerned, if you ask me. The Impact Provincial Wrestling Federation. Thumb is up there. Sami Callihan for that dig, for that visual dig to James E. Cornette. Mwah. And of course, Ted Irvine, the babyface assassin turning heel in Chicago.
Here we go, found it.
All right, let's go.
This is the type of innovation. This is the type of innovation that will allow the IPWF to overcome Vince McMahon's plan for national expansion. Yes, he added Vince McMahon.
Yeah, he added Vince McMahon for that too. All right, that's going to do it. Before we do, hey, Backstage Assault.
Yep, this is my third time reviewing the game. Hopefully the last.
They can't pay you enough to do that again, unless they pay you $1 million.
Here's the thing. The original review was on Blip. That was lost.
Yeah.
Then I did it again a few years ago. And it was basically an unscripted rant more than anything else. And here I did a video that I hope was entertaining.
You went full scripted production and everything.
And
so the trilogy she is done.
Yes. So I hope this time it was all good and dandy and all that, and you all enjoy it.
Hopefully. One can hope, right? So yeah, if you want to watch his T-Dub's next video earlier than usual, he's got his Patreon, patreon.com/TWK reviews. Of course, I have my tip jar as well, paypal.me/manager316. Donations are obviously optional, but always appreciated. Of course, if you want to buy some merch, streamlabs.com/RVT Entertainment/merch, t-shirts, mugs, and tote bags available for a decent price. And of course, it supports us as well. Buy the merch. Emails, you send them to the WrestleCast@gmail.com. The link is on the screen. And of course, we're on Twitter and Mike Shell just asked, part 4 next year? See, I'm thinking, how do I blame Vince Russo for this game? Of course, you can follow us on Twitter @MattyJ316 and @TWK Official on Twitter. Of course, I'm on Instagram under the same @handle. That being said, thank you very much for tuning in and saying hi. We very much appreciate it. And on behalf of my good buddy TWK.
Until next time, this is TWK Reviews. Don't need to work your gimmick!
My name is Matty Jay, reminding you to help professional wrestling. Support your independent promotion as soon as possible. We'll talk to you next week, folks. We'll see you in the far-off land of December. And Tim Davis, yes, NXT UK is good.
In the month of December. In the month of December.
That's a deep cut there, too. And yes, Tim Davis, 95. NXT UK is good. Yes, dude, someone should tell Vince McMahon that he booked Walter better. Have a good one. Have a safe one. We'll talk to you folks next week. Bye, everybody. Bye. Red Dynamite Shell. December to December. Boo!
It's New York Rangers great and my father, Ted Irvin!
One of the top 100 New York Rangers of all time, Ted Irvine.
I can't believe you're here!
Hey, champion, thank you. It's so great to be back in New York City.
We're actually in Chicago, Dad.
Chicago? The home of the Blackhawks?
Yeah. Hey! Quiet down. We got a legend here. Yeah, it's the home of the Blackhawks.
When I played with the New York Rangers, we beat the Blackhawks all the time. They were brutal.
And they still are brutal.